Oh fam, this right here, this is the Tozo HA1, also known as the Tozo HA1, but you know, they want you to say HA1. These right here, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all don't gotta wait to the end of the video. I recommend these, especially for the price on screen right now. For that price, I recommend these. At first, I was like, man, I was listening to some music. I was like, oh, they're all right. But then I hit that EQ button for that bass. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. I put on some DMX. It had me barking, y'all. That bass with these HA1, if you're an X fan and you already know about the barking, these did it. I'm telling y'all, I recommend these right off the bat, but we're gonna compare them against the HT2. So without further ado, so HT2 has Bluetooth 5.3, a high-res certification. It also has the adaptive hybrid ANC. HA1, Bluetooth 5.4. HA1, 70 hours of battery life. HT2, 60 hours. The HT2 has more colors available than the HA1. The HT2 also has a much bigger quick guide and user manual, but as you can see, all the same cables come in the box. I like the updated refresh look of the Tozo app, but as you can see, the main difference here, the HT2 just has the ANC options. Everything else is pretty much uniform. Looking at the headphones, they don't look too different. Now looking at the back, you have different Tozo logos and ANC microphones. The HT2 has numeric head adjustment, which is actually pretty helpful. Looking at the ear padding, you see those wrinkles? At least I call them wrinkles. They're not very high end. Now when I squeeze them, the pads did feel rather nice. See how smooth those ear pads are? Look at that, look how smooth they are. Now when I squeeze these, they are just a little softer. HA1 button layout. On the right ear cup, we got the EQ button, microphone, USB-C for charging, 3.5mm aux port, volume rocker, LED indicator, and power button. HT2 button layout, right ear cup, noise cancellation button, microphone, USB-C for charging, 3.5 aux port, volume rocker, LED indicator, power button. When you hit the EQ button on the HA1, you're gonna get deep bass, standard, and clear treble. Deep bass and clear treble aren't EQ selections in the app. They are not. You can only get these when you hit that EQ button on the HA1. Perfect example, check this out. See how they both say standard? But you see the EQ is way different. I'm not tricking you here. That's because when you hit that button on the headphones, it still says standard. When you switch to deep bass, that's what it looks like. So if you go through the EQ and you don't see deep bass, that's because it's not in there. You have to hit the button, and when you do, it's gonna look like that. So which ones do I recommend between the two? That's a tough one because it depends on your needs. If you're looking for high-res audio feature and maybe the ANC, then obviously you need to choose the HT2. But if that's not all that important, the HA1 is a solid choice. And with that EQ deep bass that you can't get, I shouldn't say you can't get it on the HT2. It's just you're gonna have to go through the custom EQ and try to match the EQ to make it sound the way these do when you activate the deep bass EQ. Better build quality on the HT2, not as great on the HA1. You're also getting no noise cancellation and no high-res audio. If all of that is not that important to you, this is your go-to right here. All right, fam, sound test on the way. Until next time, I'm Dave Banter. We out.